Did you press it though? Because I didn't see the little. Oh, there it is.
The button press.
The stream is live. No, where are we streaming live right now?
We are streaming live on my LinkedIn as well as the reasonably new Coffee with Brent and Matt YouTube page, where all episodes live moving forward.
Hi, YouTube.
Yeah. Hi, YouTube. So far, we have 0 live YouTube visitors.
That's right. We are killing it, right?
It's on brand, apparently.
Well, in the 0 to 0 demo, we are killing it. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. So you decided to have class outside today. Look at you.
Outside class. Yes, it is still. So it's 7. It's so a little chilly. I brought my. If I get too cold, I got my hat just in case.
You got a toque. All right.
What is it called?
A toque.
No, it's not. It's just it's a knit cap. It's just a skull cap.
Yeah, it's a toque. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fine.
I guess. I don't know.
It sounds like. I feel like you just pulled out a German swear word. And now you're just punking me with it.
No, it's a Canadian thing. For all the many Canadians who listen to our show, all of 0, tell us it's toque. And then
dozens. Yeah. Happy Friday, Brent. How you doing?
I'm okay, but you didn't tell me you were going to go like stepping out on me last week and find a guest who, by the way, significantly funnier than me and better looking and just all around just better. So
So shout out to Jake Milstein. What's funny is like you told me, hey, I'm gonna be traveling next week. We're not gonna do a show next week. I'm like, okay, fine. And then I just blindly started to follow my Friday task list, which is includes set up next week's Coffee with Brent and Matt. So I set it up, and then Michael N, loyal listener, loyal follower, was like, hey, wait, I thought you guys weren't doing a show next week. I'm like, oh crap, we're not. And then I'm like, okay, well now that I set it up, late. I'm like, I'll see what I can find. So shout out Jake Milstein, who I tried a handful of people earlier in the week last week to say, hey, you want to guest with me? And no one could do it. And so literally like an hour before I threw out an SOS.
No one was at all interested.
Yeah.
So by the way, in the spirit of keeping up the momentum and really making sure that we're here every week, I can't do next week either. So there you go.
Oh, come on.
I know.
Well, right? I'm doing it anyway. I got a bunch.
I'll be at
I got a handful of people that told me they couldn't do it last week. And so like Carlos, Phil, I'm coming for you. This is your makeup chance.
Yeah, I board a plane at 7 a.m. this time Pacific in San Diego.
I think you should do it from the air. I think if the Wi-Fi is working, you should annoy the crap out of your teammates.
That's right. People will love it.
Do the show from the air. There was a quiz earlier this week in the Wall Street Journal on airplane etiquette, and it was like, are you a good passenger? Not specifically related to your peers, the people sitting around you.
Yeah.
So one of the questions, Brent, is who has first right to the elbow rest, to the arm rest on an airplane?
Whoever gets there first. Yeah.
You're definitely there. There were 3 archetypes, and I think you're going to be the selfish one. It's whoever sits in the middle. The middle seat gets the armrest.
That's the classic answer. I just flew to Denver back and there and back in the middle seat in coach because we had to book it last minute. And I didn't feel any specific right to the armrest, particularly on both sides. It's not like, do you know who I am? I'm the middle seat man. You must move your arm. I mean, I didn't feel somehow. So it's just in many ways the opposite of selfish, right?
You got a name drop. You'd be like, I'm Brent Adamson. I get these.
You might know me from such books as The Challenger Sale.
Yeah, right.
I'm Troy McClure.
Oh boy.
So I that's why I said whoever gets there first, not because I'm in the middle. Because if I'm in the middle, I get there first, then I double win. I got there first, and I'm in the middle. But if I suppose the one that makes me a jerk is I'm in the aisle and I get there first and say, I don't care if you're in the middle, I'd still my armrest. That would make me a jerk, but I'm just not that guy. So it's basically if someone's there first, I get out of their way. That's it. I accommodate. I roll with the punches and help. And I'm agile enough to work my reality around the reality of others.
I'm generally just a people pleaser, and so I don't even pay attention to the rules. I'm just like, if he wants it, he can have it. Like, what do I care?
That's an easier way of saying what I just tried to say in too many words is what I do. No.
Right.
Now, what about the reclining? See, that to me.
Oh, I never recline.
Who reclines? And I was sitting. So again, I'm in not even economy. Yeah, I'm an economy, not economy plus,
Yeah.
in a middle seat, trying to work on my laptop, and the freaking lady in front of me decides she's gonna recline. It's like, really,
Okay. So
really,
I never recline. Because like I usually don't even really need it or want it, but also like I'm like the person behind me 100% doesn't want me to recline. And so
right?
if someone's gonna
And by the way,
recline,
the marginal increment in comfort is essentially
no,
zero,
there's
right?
no difference. It goes from this to
Right,
this. I mean, literally, like there's no. You notice how my
right,
hand barely moved? Exactly.
exactly. So your enjoyment goes up by zero. The discomfort of the person behind you goes up by fivefold, right? It's
Especially
literally, yeah,
so two things. One,
yeah,
the person that reclines and doesn't even glance back. If they glance back just to be like, "Hey, heads up," or like just, "Oh, is someone back there? Are they asleep?"
yeah,
Like then I'm like, okay. And then they slowly recline. I'm
right,
like, okay.
yeah,
Like if you
yeah,
really need it, like I'm okay with that. But
yeah.
the ones that don't look and just immediately go back,
To
because
slam it back,
usually,
yeah,
right? Because usually, if your laptop's up, your laptop
right.
is kind of like right there,
And it
right?
gets
It's
wedged in the little tray table area.
I'm waiting for my laptop to snap. I'm waiting for
Snap.
one of
Yeah.
these days just the screen just to like snap and be done.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, I'm not excited
I'm
about that
usually
at
the guy
all.
sort of with my head leaning against the seat in front of me. So when they slam back, it literally like, it's like smacks me in the head. And there you go. As
I'm
long as
I'm
I can
kind
go
I'm kind of
everything
with Phil,
above and
right?
have leg room.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
So
there,
Phil,
there's real there's rules to this.
no, the play is you put your, because I don't put two bags up above. That's not cool. But but I travel with a massively packed or densely packed rollerboard and a huge backpack. Yeah, I have a pretty significant kit when I go on the road. But I'll put the backpack in front of me, but in the seat, in front of me.
Right.
But as soon as particularly if I'm in the back of the plane, which is less and less these days as I get older because I can handle it. But as soon as the plane takes off, I will pull the backpack out and put it underneath my knees, and
Yeah,
thus
yeah,
freeing up the
yeah.
space for my feet. And that seems
That's the way. That is the way.
yeah,
I don't know.
that
I,
is
I
the
didn't
way.
know there's
Yeah.
another way, but that's the way.
Well,
Why?
you just leave it there. You leave the backpack under the seat in front of you and just have no leg room until your knees cramp up and you have no
No,
blood
that's
flow.
dumb.
You,
No,
you
you no,
throw a
no, no,
clot.
no.
Yeah,
I get that
yeah,
they want it under there, like just in case you have to like all evacuate or whatever. But like, yeah, no, you can get it out and then you put it up against the
yeah,
seat, and then your feet are in front of it, and then you can
totally.
get to stuff too, right? And then your water
Yeah,
bottle doesn't leak. I mean, this is just like this is common knowledge. I don't
stuff
know why we're
matters.
even
Yeah.
having to talk about
Do
this.
you ever like it? Like I'll tell you. So I'm very very close this year. Early next, I'll hit 2 million miles. So I've flown a lot on
Holy
United.
crap, dude!
Yeah, I know. And there's this moment, probably about almost 20 years ago now, where one of our colleagues at CEB was flying home from London, a flight I made literally probably 6 times a year. And he got home, two young kids, sat down on the couch, felt tired, fell asleep, died through a clot.
Whoa.
And I'll tell you, that was a hell of a wake up call for me because it never occurred to me, like it just in the process of doing my job of flying around the world, that I'm actually potentially putting my life in danger because you're just sitting on a freaking airplane with bad food. You don't really think about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was, I think about that a lot, actually, still to this day. And it's okay because we named the conference room after him, so that made it all right.
Oh, that made
But
it better. Yeah.
right, but it's just like I don't know, man. So I don't mess around with that kind of stuff. So you get up, walk around, people, wear your compression socks. That's just
Where welcome to coffee with old people. Wear your compression
But the guy
socks.
was 30 something. He wasn't. That's my point. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
like 72. I mean, he had two young kids. It was messed up.
Yeah,
It's totally
it's not
messed
good.
up. Anyway,
You do
I
got to
don't know
get
how I
up.
got
My dad
there.
flew back from South Africa, and
Yeah.
didn't get up at all and had blood clot issues. It was pretty dangerous.
So I've never done the South Africa flight. I don't know if they still do it, but back in the day, particularly the London crowd, there's this really interesting thing where the South Africa flight apparently would, like, in the middle of the night, land somewhere in North Africa, unclear exactly where it was, and the people would come into the plane with these
Yeah.
tanks in their back and fumigate the plane. Like they just like start spraying this stuff like on the passengers, on the overhead compartments, on everything. And then they'd walk out, and then the plane would close up and continue flying to London. I've never experienced that, but I've always found that kind of fascinating and utterly terrifying. And Dave
I don't
Bryson,
know what's wrong with you people that you're all like, oh, I have 2
9
million, and then
million,
Dave's like
Dave.
9
Holy shit.
million. I
Excuse my
mean,
language.
Dave, geez, like stay
9
home.
million.
That's crazy.
That's just wrong.
I mean, we knew you were old, Dave, but goddamn.
Yeah, that's a good point. Not only do you have to travel a lot, you also have to be 182 years old to make 9 million. That's amazing, Dave.
I am nowhere near any of those numbers. Actually, I don't entirely know. I think I don't know what my total flight number is. I just know, like with Alaska Airlines, which I fly mostly out of Seattle.
Yeah.
I'm not even in a million, and that's kind of a badge of honor. I don't want to be on the road that much.
Yeah, it's weird. Once you get
I
sucked
want to be
into
here.
loyalty
I want
programs,
to be
right?
here.
I get it.
So
With
you
the
gotta
chickens. Yeah,
no,
show
not
us the
not the
chickens.
chickens. Today we're
Wait,
here.
where are you? That's
We're
not your
on Whidbey.
home.
Oh, no, this
You're in
is
Whidbey
Whidbey
Island.
Island. This is Whidbey
Got it.
Island. Yeah,
Oh, for the long weekend.
for a holiday weekend. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So but Friday morning waits
Wait,
for no
go
one.
back.
So
Was
we
that a
did the
bear?
summer.
What was out in the grass? Was that a bear out there?
That's not a bear. That's our dog. That's Henry.
Oh,
That's Henry.
Hey, Henry. I love
Henry is
Henry.
13. He can't hear. He can barely see. Um,
Well,
and
God,
what
I
he'll
hope there's
do
not a
is he'll
bear out there
go.
with him then. In that case,
No, he'll
jeez.
go when we get out here. He'll go on what we call his old man walk. So he might do one
Oh,
right now. Like he'll kind of
yeah,
wander out to the tree line, disappear into the trees, and
yeah.
then like I don't know, half hour to 6 hours later, he'll come wandering up the road over there. And like, where
Yeah.
have you been? And how did you get over there? No, there he goes. He's gonna go do his old man walk.
Does he usually come
Um,
back with like a piece of like carry on, or did he have like a goose in his mouth or something? Like he killed something and brought it back as a
no,
prize?
he doesn't. He doesn't do that. He does chase
Yeah,
after coyotes, and I'm worried about that because like the
coyotes.
coyotes hunting packs, and he's just again he can't. He can. He's a wily dog, but he can't hear,
But
and he
he's
can
not a
barely
wily
see.
coyote. Yeah,
He's not. No, but wily's
yeah.
still a fun word to use. Um, um, so we continue to get some fun comments here. Apparently the Wright brothers. So you didn't really track. So it might be 9 million plus for Dave, because back in the day the Wright brothers weren't really tracking.
Dave, what I'm
Um,
curious, given how old Dave is how many of those millions of miles were in propeller planes? That's the
yeah, yeah. I forgot about the smoking section. That was
Oh God, that's happened to me. I once trying to be nice, gave up my seat on an international flight to London. This is a long time ago for a family that wanted to sit with their kids, and only after that I took it in the back of the plane. I don't know what I was thinking. This is when I was young and stupid. So I
yeah,
take their seat in the back of the plane so they could move up front to be with their family. And then I realized I'm not only in the back of the plane, I'm in the smoking section. And the
nice,
second the plane is, it's like now we have the 10,000 feet beep says you can use Wi-Fi in your laptops. Back then it was
right,
10,000 feet. You can light up now. And the
right,
second thing, the bing, and literally everyone around me is like the second that thing donged is like boop, they're lighting up. Think about it now. People with open flames in an airplane. How did we ever think that was a good idea? God.
yeah.
And I literally could not breathe for the next 6 hours. It was the worst.
Um, and people
Man,
say the world's
I
not
am
a
old.
better place. I mean, the fact that you can't smoke on an airplane, it
Yeah.
seems like that's a good thing. All right, so let's talk business for 20 seconds before you veer off course
Uh-oh.
again.
All right, you're getting all serious.
You did frame making workshops last week in
Yes.
Europe. How
Paris.
did that go?
We were in Paris, and then we moved on to London, and then we're gonna do the same thing in San Diego next week. Which, by the way, this is ServiceNow is rolling out globally to first of their key accounts, the frame making stuff and the frame making work, and I'll tell you, it's really, as some will know, incredibly humbling when you take these ideas that you've worked so many years on and put them out into the world, and they actually start seeing it have material impact. It resonates with people. People go try
Yeah,
it, and they come back, and they're kind of like, it works. And it's like, and you're like, well, thank God.
good,
And it's
good.
it's like, phew. Yeah, that was always the case with Challenger too. It's like, hey, this stuff works. It's like, oh, thank God, because all we had were bar charts.
Yeah,
But it is the thing. It's not just that it's resonating incredibly strongly, which is super, super gratifying and humbling. It's why it resonates, Matt, which you'll appreciate. It's why you and I still do the show after 153 episodes,
yeah,
is because what's resonating is this essentially finding the humanity in sales, right? It's finding
yeah,
this. It's kind of wild to me because in many ways, what we're teaching in these workshops is how to be more human in a sales call, which is weird because the raw material is right there for everyone in the room because they're all human beings and they act relatively human most times in
right.
other interactions. But somehow in a sales call, they've fallen into this gravitational well that pulls them into supplier centric language, and
Yes,
they cannot escape it for the life of them. And when you literally start pointing, let me give you it's a tiny little examples. We're working with what we call the phrase that frames, and we're trying to help. The whole idea of frame makes help customers feel more confident, not in you, but
that
help them
sounds
feel
like a
more
Price
confident
is
in
Right
themselves.
game, by the way.
Yeah,
That sounds like
the
if you get
phrase.
brought up
Welcome
to
to
on
the
stage.
phrase that frames.
Yeah, you got like,
Right,
hey,
that's um, the uh, so one of the ideas is to again to share guidance, coaching, sherpaness with your customers in such a way that you're solving for their self-perception. And nonetheless, there's two examples that happened. One yesterday on a virtual call and one last week. So the one last week was this, when someone said, working with other companies like you, one of the things we find is that, and the phrase, I said, all right, just take that phrase and just put the word all after the word we and see what happens. And he said, one of the things in, working with other companies, one of the things we all find is, and I just asked him, I said, what just happened? And for them, it was like this light bulb moment. They said, oh, it just went from talking about us to talking about all of us. Yeah. So rather than being on the other side of the table, just by literally putting the word all into the sentence, you put yourself on the other side of the table with your customer. And that was for them, it was like eyes open, and people like, wow, this like really matters. And I've got a whole toolkit called language at my disposal that I've never even thought about before. Right. And it's like, and it's just so interesting watching people geek out about this. And then the one yesterday was how, again, if it's helping customers feel more confident in themselves, and I mean this with absolutely no disrespect, these are really talented people at this, running sometimes billion-dollar accounts and with a lot of experience. There's one particular participant in particular, though, she said, I just want to be helpful. And so she's like aligning with what we're saying. I just want to be helpful. So I just tell my customer, here's other things you might want to be concerned of. And if you got any of those things, just let me know how I can help. And I said, well, is that really helpful? You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
I don't know what I need, and I don't know what to do. And now I feel even more overwhelmed. So I don't really know what to ask you for. So therefore, I appreciate the fact that you offered help, but I'm not going to come back to you for help because I don't know how you can help me because I don't even know what to do. So let me go figure this out, and I'll come back to me. So we went through this whole coaching exercise of what if, rather than saying whatever you need, I'm here for you, you actually provided them some very concrete, specific guidance that's actually going to help moving them forward. And again, framing, and again, there's like this light bulb moment. It's like, oh, because she was doing it with such good intentions. Whatever you need, I'm here for you. And in some ways, it's autobiographical. Someone like me that's suffered from chronic depression my entire freaking life, right? If someone says, like, let me help you, Brent. It's like, I don't know how you can help me. I don't know what to ask for, right? And I think that's where customers are when it comes to buying. They don't know what to ask for. So you have to so just being helpful in general isn't actually helpful as much as you want to be. And I think that was a super interesting moment yesterday. There you go. All right.
I
I
was on a podcast yesterday with a guy who's become a seed, sort of angel investor, and but he had an agency, years ago that did a lot of Marketo work, and the question he asked, like, so what's working right now? Like all the channels are clogged,
nothing.
Response rates are down. So what's working? And I talked through the frame making model and just talked about customer confidence.
I love you, Matt.
And he's like, oh man, that's really good. I'm like, yeah, I know. I said, like, it's just we can't. The channels are the channels, right? And so you're not going to invent some new vehicle to get to people.
That's right.
And so you got to use what you've got, but you've got to be smarter about how you use it. And so if you can help someone feel seen, if you can help someone feel heard, if you can help someone increase the confidence they have in themselves, they're more likely to have confidence in a decision, as well as more likely to lean in with you because you help them get
totally
there. And the guy's like, you can see that his eyes is like, holy crap. I'm like, I know, right? Like it works. And but I think
this is why I'm so excited about framing. It's not because it's my IP. It was rather because it taps into something we all kind of instinctively know. Do you know what I mean? It's like you see the bar charts and all that kind of stuff, but then when you think, it's like, oh God, yeah, of course that makes sense because it's kind of what we instinctively do, and it's like that's the story, right?
But look at all the discourse out there. It's like, look at me, get a demo. Or if people are disciplined enough to at least start with hey, let me talk about you, and then you answer the question like, okay, fine, now we're done with that. Let me talk about me. And so we transition very quickly into the us conversation.
Well, just think how we're all trained in sales, Matt. Is we not only we're trained, we've been told we aspire, and we've been told to aspire to becoming our customer's trusted advisor, right?
Yep.
How do you become your trusted? There's not a single sales organization, probably not a single CEO has at some point encountered this language of we need to find a way to build customers' trust. And notice all of that: be your customer's trusted advisor, gain your customer's trust. Is all specifically and very purposefully designed to change customers' perceptions of you. And it's really no different than going on a date and saying, enough about me. Now you talk about me. Do you like me yet? Do you trust me yet?
Right.
And what we instinctively know in human relationships is the best way to get someone to trust you is become an agent of them helping to trust themselves. The trust in you is a byproduct. It shouldn't be the end in itself. It should be the byproduct of you helping them. It's the whole sort of, let it go. Well, no, so that's a different metaphor. But anyway, but I find this sort of trusted advisor, because every time someone says, I need to become my customer's trusted advisor, they lean into things like, let me tell you how many years we've done this. Let me how many years I've done this. Let me show you our value.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. And again, you wind up with this really completely understandable objective of winning your customers' trust, of
Right.
falling it back into this gravitational well of deeply supplier centric engagement.
Right.
And so it's ironic almost that like by trying to get the thing we all want, we undermine it by the very tactics we use to try to get it. And that's what
Yeah.
framing is trying to do, is short circuit that whole process to ultimately do get the thing that you want, which is customers' trust. Wow, that got deep.
It did.
I didn't know I was going to go
It,
on full on commercial mode.
well,
Framing.
it's not it doesn't sound like a commercial to me. It's just truth, right? And I think that
Yeah.
what I was trying to tell the podcast yesterday is like this is not rocket science, but if you can lean into this and if you can talk this way, like you're the whole we versus we all, like to make
Yeah.
it feel inclusive, to make they feel
Yeah.
inclusive. I mean, like even just the like with our CMO group, oftentimes people will talk about the value they get, but also say, I feel seen, I feel heard, right? Like this is
Exactly.
really hard to
Yes.
do. And I
Yeah.
have imposter syndrome all the time. And I feel like
Yep.
the world is moving faster than ever. But like I come on Fridays and I hear other people that feel the same way. And it doesn't
Right.
solve the problem
Right.
necessarily, but it makes me feel better about like my ability to sort of navigate through it.
And imagine someone who feels that way in their role, and then some sales rep comes up and says, "I'd like to demo my product." Do you know what I mean? It's like a
Yeah.
Mars Venus
Yeah.
thing. It's like
Yeah.
it's not even that I don't want to hear about your product. It's like I've got other things like you're not helping. The things I need help with are I feel overwhelmed. I feel alone. I feel isolated. And we won't say any of those things out loud, but that's kind of like, I feel like I'm not sure. I feel like I got to make the right decision. And it
Right.
might be scared. It might be fear, but it also might just be overwhelmness, right? It's like it's like the frustration. That
Yeah.
you know the riff I do. I think you've heard me say it before. Is like our biggest competitor day isn't status quo. It's not indecision. I think our biggest competitor day is our customers' memory, right? Because they think back to the last time they tried to make any decision like this in our organization. They think about all the ways it went wrong, all the ways it was hard. It's like, you know what? Just forget it. It's just not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's customers' resignation as much as it is their fear
Yeah.
that we're competing with. And so if you can show up and say, I got you, let me see if I can help make this easier by sharing with you some other stories from other companies like you that have found a way through this with the social proof, the empathy, the humility. And it's really interesting, these lessons that we're teaching in these workshops about empathy, social proof, and humility, and sort of a posture of learning.
Mhm.
Everyone immediately recognizes that, oh yeah, that's what we need to do. But then we show them like the words. So as a result, if you wanted that, the thing we all agree, don't say these words, say those words. They're like, holy
Yeah.
shit, that's like
Yeah.
you're like, I've never thought about it that way before. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, I want that. I don't know how to get it. It's so funny how so many of us don't really know how to get the thing that we all agree is important. I
It's
feel like I'm
hard to get
teaching
out of
people how to
our
just do
own.
human relations. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's hard to get out of our own heads. I mean,
Right?
I
Yeah.
think I've told you this, like, I've done an exercise with teams before, it's sales teams, marketing teams, like, it's the same, is you
Yeah.
sort of say, "Okay, like, here's, like, on the left-hand side of a spreadsheet, I want you to just write 2 or 3 members of the buying group, like, just it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
just whoever, and on the top, I want you to list a couple, like, early buying stages, right? Like, loosening
Yeah.
the status quo, commitment to change, understanding the problem, like, whatever you wanna
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and then I want you to write the message you would do for that person at that stage. You may not talk about your product or service. You may not talk about
Mm.
features. You may not use your brand name.
Yeah.
you can say whatever you want, but you can't talk about yourself. And it is really, really difficult. People are like, well, how am I even supposed to talk to them? I mean, literally, I've had that people say, how am I possibly going to have a conversation with
I have
them
nothing left to
without talking
say.
about us? I'm like, are you serious? Are we that ingrained
How
in
did
sort
you
of
ever
talking
get
about ourselves?
married?
How I have nothing to say if I can't talk about myself. And so it sort of forces people to say, okay, like, what does that person care about? Like, what's in their head? Like, what's keeping them up at night? What
Yeah.
should be keeping them up at night? Like,
It's interesting. I don't think you've seen this unless you saw one of the videos I put on, but so we talk about, it's not customers' confidence to you, but customers' confidence to self. It's not what they know, but what they feel.
right.
One of the things that I kind of realized with Carl after we wrote the book and started building the workshops is like anything else that's good in life, you can put this in a 2x2 and it's a 4 square, and we call it the frame making 4 square. And the frame making 4 squares is, it's a grid to 4 boxes. Along the bottom, it's what is supplier centric versus supplier agnostic, and on the vertical is what customers know versus what customers feel.
Yeah.
And so much of what we do in marketing and selling is that bottom left box of trying to get customers to know something about us. And what frame
Yeah.
making is trying to get customers to feel something about themselves. So it's like a double jump. It's know versus feel, us versus them. And and once you start, and so we put that 4 square up on the the whiteboard, the whatever, the flip chart. at the front of the room. And I think we would come back and refer to that probably 1,000 times across 2 days in these workshops, because, and the biggest distinction is you're still over on the left. You're still over on the supplier centric side. And we need to get you over to the supplier, not customer centric side, but supplier agnostic side. And it's like this constant reminder that people find really helpful, but they still struggle with nonetheless. Super interesting stuff, man. It's really interesting. People's excitement is just out of it's going really well. You could tell I'm kind of hyped because I've been struggling for a year and a half because it's just crossing the desert to get this thing off the ground. But now that we're starting to see sort of escape velocity, it's exciting as hell.
That's awesome. Hey, just as a reminder, we have 3 minutes left on this show, and in 3 minutes we're going to go to the other show. Remember this part? So we are.
I do. This is a Matt Heinz invention. I'm still not sure.
Well,
we're doing this, by the way.
Yeah. So what we are doing is we're trying to sort of build a community as well. Build really sort of a follower and some other content up on Substack. So by the
way, I got to tell you, is a half step in the direction of trying to put a little too much structure around this thing. But I think it's a good idea.
No, I understand you need to be self-deprecating about it, but we're going to do it anyway. So here's the deal. So I tried to put a link.
You remind me how this works. We've only done this once before. I have Substack open over here, so
I got you. So you should have a link to join it. So for everybody's here, what we do is we do this show for a half hour, and then we sort of shut down this show, and then usually Brent and I just sit and talk for another 10 or 15 minutes, and half the time we're like, oh, we should. Why aren't we still?
And Matt had this realization: hey, if nobody wants to watch the first 30 minutes, then certainly nobody's going to want to watch the other 10. So let's broadcast that too.
Well, content is content. So what we'll do is we will at the bottom of the hour, we will shut down here on LinkedIn and YouTube, and we will continue the conversation on Substack for subscribers. So if you go to coffeewithbrentandmatt.substack.com, there's no cost.
By the way, slow down there, Hoss, because I got to do this too.
No. You should already be logged in. It says you're already ready. It says scheduled live videos, start live video. I'm supposed to start it in like a minute.
What it also says is pledge my support. So I just like to hereby officially and very publicly say I pledge my support.
That's right. Pledging support doesn't mean anything other than like a salute to Brent, and then you can keep going. Right. So
are we asking for money? We're not asking for money.
No, I haven't even logged any of that in. So there's no money involved at all.
All right. Okay.
But we just thought it'd be fun to say.
Can we just say we're not asking anyone for money? Honestly, all joking aside, please don't pledge your support.
Well, actually, that's not entirely true. I mean, I got to pay for this house somehow. So I eventually am going to ask y'all for money. I mean, I'm not going to lie about that, but I think but for this show and for the next show,
have we even agreed? Are we going to 50-50 split it? What's that? I think we need to have a business plan now and some sort of charter. Do we need a business charter? Do we need to involve lawyers?
No, well, it's up to you. You just show up. So I will. There's no money involved. It's coffee with Brent and Matt. .substack.com is where you can join us,
and it's called After the Show.
You've already seen, so you're in there.
So what's going to happen?
So here's what's going to happen. We're going to say goodbye here in a minute.
Yeah,
we're going to end the stream here, and if you want to continue to chat with us, come over to coffeewithbrentandmatt.substack.com. Join the live video that will start live here in a couple minutes. The cool thing about Substack is that we could actually bring people on. Like right now, I can see people's comments, but I can't even really comment back because I can't comment back.
So Dave, join us over there so we can give you equal time as a rejoinder.
Dave, if Dave will join, we're going to bring you on, and I want to hear about how close you are to 10 million miles and what
it really was like flying with the Wright brothers. I want to hear what it was really like flying with the Wright brothers. Yeah,
that's called a teaser in the industry. So let's do this.
All right,
we'll say goodbye to everybody here.
I'm a little nervous.
Okay. Coffee with Brent and Matt.substack.com. Come join us over there. This will be the second time we've done this, so we're clearly still working.
Feeling a little janky, by the way, but I'm just saying.
No, it's not. I think we got to work. Right. We got to work on our talk track. We'll figure that part out. But anyway, good to see everybody. For those that are signing off, have a happy weekend. Go touch grass. We'll see somebody next week.
Agreed. Peace out, all.